Now's the time to rock like we do.
Gimme, 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 gimme.
Welcome to a special episode of the Alex Cardinale Network, 2020, a year like no other. Tonight, we embark on a reflective journey through the whirlwind that was 2020, a year marked by unprecedented events and profound challenges. From the heart-wrenching loss of basketball legend Kobe Bryant to the unexpected sports shifts with Tom Brady joining the Buccaneers, we experienced it all. The global pandemic of COVID-19 reshaped our lives, while the death of George Floyd ignited movements for justice across the globe. The contentious 2020 presidential election left its mark on history, prompting us to question the future of democracy. Join us as we delve into the lessons learned and how this year has impacted each of us personally. Share your thoughts live in the chat or leave a comment, and don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoy our journey tonight. Let's relive, reflect, and learn from 2020 together. And now from the A.C.E Network Studios in South Florida, here is Alex Cardinale.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to 2020, a year like no other, an A.C.E Network special. I'm your host, Alex Cardinale. Tonight, we are traveling back to the year of unpredictability, a year of craziness. We are traveling back to 2020. It's a year I know that I will never forget, and I'm sure many of you will never forget as well. In 2020, we witnessed some unprecedented events, such as COVID-19, the loss of one of the greatest basketball players of all time, Kobe Bryant, political arrests, political campaigns that were controversial, and so much more. And tonight we're going to talk about why 2020 is a year like no other. I'm also going to talk about what we can learn from 2020, all that and more. So I hope you enjoyed the show. I thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy our little flashback to 2020, 5 years ago. It's hard to believe, but it's been 5 years since 2020. So, if you enjoyed the show, please hit the like button and please subscribe. If this is your first time watching the Alex Cardinale Network, please subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified when I go live next. All right, so if you're watching live or catching the replay, let me know how 2020 affected you. In the comments, tell me how 2020 affected you. 2020 affected a lot of people in various ways, whether financially or through employment or through COVID. 2020 was a year that affected a lot of people. So how did 2020 affect you? Let us know in the comments. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this show started. And I'm going to start by discussing how 2020 impacted me. Now, 2020 was my first full year living here in South Florida. Now, in 2019, the summer of 2019, I moved from Western Massachusetts, Springfield, Mass, to West Palm Beach, Florida, here in South Florida. So unfortunately for me, My very first full year as a South Florida citizen was in 2020, and 2020 was a year that had a lot of negativity attached to it. In 2020, we had COVID. We had some protests going on. A lot of negative stuff happened in 2020. Now, in 2020, me personally, I was working as a service clerk at Publix in West Palm Beach. I was working, and that's where I met a lot of wonderful people. So one of the good things about 2020 is that I made a lot of friends here in the South Florida area. I met Officer Fink, who has passed away, rest in peace. I met an old friend of mine, so it was awesome. So in 2020, I was working as a service clerk, and I had a friend named Paul that I hanged out with, and I did a lot of videos and vlogs with. So 2020 seemed like an ordinary year at the very beginning for me. And then in March of 2020, COVID hit. And when COVID hit, I wasn't sure what it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like the swine flu that happened in 2009, where it would be maybe a month or two at most. But it ended up being a years-long illness. Anyway, when COVID hit, everything shut down, and Publix was still open. And when COVID first hit, the job that I was doing was sanitizing carts. It was cleaning carts with sanitizer, and I would be there 8 hours a day, wiping down carts for customers. And it was the same thing day after day, day after day. So finally, I decided I'm going to take advantage of the government's stipulation they had going on for COVID-19. If you did not want to work during the illness, you did not have to. You would be paid some sort of sick pay, and that's what I chose to do. I sat COVID-19 out because I didn't want to clean carts for 8 hours, standing out in the aisle where customers walk in, sanitizing carts for 8-9 hours straight. So I took my sick leave for COVID, and I eventually ended up leaving Publix because I wasn't really fond of the people that I was working for at that particular Publix. I would definitely work for Publix again, just not that particular Publix. But anyway, so 2020 affected me because it was the first job that I took a leave from, the COVID leave it was called, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes here on this episode. So really, apart from the leave from my job, 2020 really had no effect on me. I was one of the fortunate people that never got COVID. Knock on wood, I haven't got COVID yet, and I probably will never get COVID, hopefully. But I know 2020 has affected a lot of people. So in the comments, let me know how 2020 has affected you. Now, let's talk about how 2020 is a year that'll never, ever be the same. Let's talk about how 2020 is a year like no other. So, what made 2020 a year so different from previous years? Well, the year 2020 was marked differently from other years, primarily due to the global impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Starting in early 2020, the virus spread rapidly across the globe, leading to widespread health crises and promoting unprecedented public health measures. Lockdowns, social distancing, and mask mandates became part of daily life, alternating routines and significantly impacting economies worldwide. So it wasn't just Halloween that you wore a wig in 2000, or excuse me, you wore a mask. It wasn't just Halloween that you had to wear a mask. In 2020, you had to wear some sort of face covering to prevent getting COVID. The pandemic also accelerated digital transformation as remote work and virtual communication became essential. Additionally, 2020 was notable for significant social and political events, including widespread protests for racial justice following the death of George Floyd in the United States and a highly continuous presidential election. These events, combined with the overarching effects of the pandemic, made 2020 a year of profound change and reflection on a global scale. So that is why 2020 is a year so different from previous years. Now, what can we learn from 2020? There obviously is a lot of lessons that we can learn from 2020. The year 2020 taught us numerous invaluable lessons, reshaping our perspectives and priorities. One of the most significant lessons was the importance of adaptability and resilience. The COVID-19 pandemic disrupted lives worldwide, forcing individuals and organizations to quickly adjust to new norms, such as remote work, virtual education, and digital communication. It highlighted the fragility of global systems while also showcasing the power of science and technology in developing rapid solutions like vaccines. Additionally, 2020 emphasized the significance of community and empathy as people came together to support one another through challenging times. Social movements and dialogues around racial justice gained momentum, reminding us of the ongoing need for equity and inclusion. Overall, 2020 was a year that underscored the interconnectedness of our world and the importance of maintaining compassion, flexibility, and vigilance in the face of adversity. Now, each and every year, there are holidays to celebrate. There is the 4th of July, there is Easter, there is Christmas, there is Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day, you name it. Well, how are the holidays different in 2020? So, how are the 2020 holidays different from other years, you ask? The 2020 holidays were notably different from previous years due to the global impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Social distancing measures and travel restrictions drastically altered traditional holiday gatherings, leading many families to celebrate virtually via video calls instead of in-person meetings. Retail experiences shifted as well, with a significant increase in online shopping due to health concerns and store closures. Additionally, holiday events such as parades, concerts, and religious services were either canceled, postponed, or adapted to virtual formats, altering the festive atmosphere. Despite these challenges, the spirit of the season persisted, with many people finding creative ways to connect and share joy while adhering to safety guidelines. Now, the COVID pandemic had an impact on 2020 and the business side of things as well. Here is the 2020 impact on retail. Stores like Walmart, Kmart, Kohl's, etc. The year 2020 significantly transformed the retail industry, primarily due to the COVID-19 pandemic. With lockdowns and social distancing measures in place, physical retail stores faced unprecedented challenges, such as foot traffic plummeting. Many brick and mortar stores temporarily or permanently closed, and retailers had to adapt quickly to survive. This accelerated the shift towards e-commerce as consumers increasingly turned to online shopping for safety and convenience. Retailers who embraced digital transformation, offering robust online platforms and contactless delivery options, managed to thrive during this period. Moreover, supply chain disruptions forced companies to reevaluate their logistics and inventory strategies. The pandemic also heightened the focus on hygiene and health, leading to changes in store layouts and the adaptation of technologies like touchless payments. Overall, 2020 reshaped consumer behavior and retail operations, setting new precedents for the industry's future. Now, what is the 2020 impact on the food industry? The impact on restaurants and grocery stores. In 2020, restaurants and grocery stores had to adapt rapidly to the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic to thrive and survive. Many restaurants pivoted to offering takeout and delivery services, often for the first time, leveraging third-party apps like Uber Eats and DoorDash to reach customers unable to dine in. Some also created meal kits or family-style bundles to cater to the need of households cooking at home. Grocery stores, on the other hand, expanded their online shopping and delivery options, with services like curbside pickup becoming increasingly popular. Both sectors also implemented strict health and safety measures, such as contactless payment systems, enhanced cleaning protocols, and social distancing guidelines to ensure the safety of their customers and staff. Additionally, many businesses embrace digital marketing to maintain customer engagement and loyalty. These innovative strategies help restaurants and grocery stores not only survive, but also adapt to the evolving landscape of consumer needs during the pandemic. So let's talk about special attractions in 2020. Special attractions would be things like Six Flags, Universal Studios, Walt Disney World, movie theaters, bowling alleys, etc. Yes, attractions such as zoos, aquariums, malls, bowling alleys, and movie theaters were significantly impacted by the events of 2020, primarily due to the COVID-19 pandemic. These venues, which thrive on public gatherings, faced unprecedented challenges as governments worldwide implemented lockdowns and social distancing measures to curb the spread of the COVID-19 virus. Many were forced to close temporarily, leading to financial strain and a re-evaluation of their operation models. Zoos and aquariums, for instance, had to find ways to care for animals without their usual revenue streams, often turning to virtual tours, and online fundraising. Malls saw a decline in foot traffic, accelerating the shift towards e-commerce. Bowling alleys and movie theaters struggled with closures and capacity restrictions, prompting some theaters to explore streaming services as an alternative. Overall, these attractions had to adapt quickly, focusing on safety measures and innovative solutions to engage with their audiences in a changed world. So that's business in 2020. Let's talk about professional sports in 2020. The year 2020 had a profound impact on the world of sports, as the COVID-19 pandemic led to unprecedented disruptions across all levels of competition. Major sporting events, including the Tokyo Olympics and the UEFA Euro 2020, were postponed, while leagues such as the NBA, NHL, and MLB had to suspend or abbreviate their seasons. When sports resumed, they did so under strict health protocols, often in empty or limited capacity venues, which significantly altered the atmosphere and experience for both players and fans. The pandemic also accelerated the adoption of digital technologies, with virtual fan engagement and broadcasting innovations becoming more prominent. Financially, the sports industry faced significant challenges, with lost revenue from ticket sales and sponsorships impacting teams and organizations worldwide. In response, many sports entities reevaluated their business models, focusing on sustainability and resilience to withstand future disruptions. And finally, WWE in 2020. You guys know I'm a WWE fan, so that's why we're going to talk about wrestling. In 2020, WWE faced unprecedented challenges due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which required swift adaptation to continue operations while ensuring the safety of talent and staff. One of the most significant adjustments was the introduction of the WWE Thunderdome, a state-of-the-art virtual fan experience that allowed audiences to attend events virtually via LED boards surrounding the ring. This innovation not only maintained fan engagement, but also enhanced the production value with advanced lighting and augmented reality graphics. Additionally, WWE implemented stringent health and safety protocols, including regular COVID-19 testing, social distancing measures, and hosting events without live audiences at the Performance Center and later at the Amway Center. These measures demonstrated WWE's resiliency and ability to innovate in the face of a global crisis. All right, and that is how 2020 impacted not only the United States, but the entire world, how it impacted businesses and professional sport leagues. Now we're going to talk about notable 2020 events. So here are some of the unpredictable craziness that happened in 2020. Notable events from 2020 include the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, which led to global lockdowns and significant changes in daily life, the killing of George Floyd, which sparked widespread protest against racial injustice and police brutality, the U.S. presidential election culminating in Joe Biden defeating Donald Trump, and major natural disasters, including wildfires in Australia and California, as well as hurricanes impacting the Gulf Coast. Additionally, significant debates around climate change and social justice gained prominence during this tumultuous year. So now let's start talking about some of the more infamous 2020 events. The greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady, signed with my favorite team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know, as a kid growing up playing Madden on PS4 and PS5, I always had Tom Brady on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I never thought it would be a reality, but in 2020 it was. Tom Brady signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to be their quarterback. Tom Brady signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on March 20th, 2020. He initially agreed to a 2-year contract with the team. In his first season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom Brady had an impressive performance, leading the team to a Super Bowl victory. And this is the Super Bowl that I teased my friend Enzo. It's the Super Bowl the Buccaneers destroyed Kansas City. The Buccaneers won Super Bowl 55 on February 7th, 2021, defeating the Kansas City Chiefs 31-9. Tom Brady's leadership and experience were pivotal to the team's success, and he was named the Super Bowl MVP, marking his 7th championship win and further solidifying his legacy as one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history. So Tom Brady's first season as a Buccaneer, he comes in and he throws well, leads the Buccaneers to a Super Bowl, wins the Super Bowl, and his final Super Bowl that he ever played in, he won, and it was his 7th championship. Congratulations, Tom Brady, and thank you for winning the Buccaneers their 2nd Super Bowl championship. Hopefully the Bucs will win some more in some upcoming years. But Tom Brady signing with my Buccaneers is one of the only good things from 2020 because from here on out, it's about to get negative and bad. And first, we're going to start with the tragedy that happened in January of 2020. One of the greatest basketball players of all time died in a tragic helicopter crash. Now let's talk about the Kobe Bryant helicopter crash, shall we? On January 26, 2020, a tragic helicopter crash claimed the lives of NBA legend Kobe Bryant, his 13-year-old daughter Gianna, and 7 others. The helicopter, a Sky S-76B, crashed in the hills of Calabas, California, while en route to a basketball tournament at the Mamba Sports Academy in Thousand Oaks. The crash occurred amidst foggy weather conditions, which significantly reduced visibility. The pilot, Ara Zabian, was experienced, but it was reported that he became disoriented due to the poor weather conditions. The National Transportation Safety Board later determined that the crash was caused by pilot error, specifically his decision to continue flying in deteriorating visibility conditions. The incident sent shockwaves around the world as Kobe Bryant was not only a celebrated athlete, but also a beloved public figure, recognized for his contributions both on and off the basketball court. The tragic helicopter crash that claimed the life of Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and 7 others on 1/26/2020 was primarily attributed to several critical factors. The NTSB identified pilot disorientation due to poor weather conditions as a leading cause. The helicopter was flying in dense fog, which significantly reduced visibility and led to the pilot's spatial disorientation, causing him to lose control of the aircraft. Additionally, the NTSB noted that the pilot made a decision to fly under visual flight rules despite the adverse weather conditions, which was not in compliance with standard safety protocols. The lack of a terrain awareness and warning system on the helicopter was also mentioned as a factor that might have helped prevent the crash. These elements combined tragically resulted in the accident, underlying the importance of strict adherence to safety guidelines and technological advancements in aviation. The tragic helicopter crash that claimed the life of Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and 7 others was a devastating event. Given the nature of the crash, it is unlikely that anyone could have survived. The helicopter encountered dense fog, which led to disorientation and a loss of control, ultimately resulting in a high-speed impact with the terrain in Calabas, California. The NTSB investigated the accident and found that the helicopter was descending rapidly at the time of impact, making survivability virtually impossible. The tragic event highlighted the importance of stringent safety measures and thorough pilot training in adverse weather conditions. Now, this event had a profound impact on the world. The loss sent shockwaves through the sports community and beyond, highlighting the fragility of life and the importance of safety in aviation. Kobe Bryant was not only an iconic basketball player, but also a beloved figure known for his work ethic, philanthropy, and dedication to his family and various causes. His passing led to an outpouring of grief and tributes from fans, athletes, and public figures worldwide who remembered him for his contributions both on and off the court. The tragedy also sparked discussions about helicopter safety regulations and the need for improved measures to prevent similar incidences in the future. The crash ultimately serves as a somber reminder of the enduring legacy that influential figures like Kobe Bryant leave behind and the collective mourning that can unite people across different backgrounds. And that is the Kobe Bryant helicopter crash. Now, the most famous thing that 2020 is known for is COVID-19. So let's go ahead and talk about COVID-19 right now here on 2020, a year like no other. When it started, COVID-19, caused by the novel coronavirus, was first identified in December of 2019 in Wuhan, China. The World Health Organization declared it a public health emergency of international concern on January 30th, 2020, and later declared it a pandemic on March 11th, 2020. How it started. The exact origins of COVID-19 are still under investigation, but it is believed to have originated in bats and may have transmitted to humans through an intermediate animal host. The virus spreads primarily through respiratory droplets when an infected person coughs, sneezes, or talks. It can also spread by touching surfaces contaminated with the virus and then touching the face. How long it lasted. The COVID-19 pandemic has had multiple waves with varying intensity across different regions. While the initial outbreak began in late 2019, the global impact continued into 2021 and beyond, with ongoing variants emerging. As of late 2 years ago, late 2023, COVID-19 is still present, but many countries have managed to control its spread through vaccination and public health measures. Impact. The impact of COVID-19 has been profound and multifaceted. Health impact. Millions of people have contracted the virus, leading to significant morbidity and mortality. Healthcare systems were overwhelmed in many regions, leading to a strain on resources and personnel. Economic impact. The pandemic triggered global economic downturns, with businesses closing, unemployment rates soaring, and disruptions in supply chains. Governments implemented stimulus packages to mitigate the economic fallout. Social impact. Lockdowns and social distancing measures altered daily life, affecting mental health, education, and social interactions. Many people experienced isolation, anxiety, and other mental health challenges. Political impact. Governments faced scrutiny over the handling of the pandemic, leading to changes in leadership and policy. Public trust in institutions was tested, and misinformation spread rapidly. Recovery. Recovery from the pandemic has been a gradual process characterized by several key elements. Vaccination. The development and distribution of vaccines has been crucial in controlling the spread of the virus. Mass vaccination campaigns have helped reduce severe cases and hospitalizations. Public health measures. Continued emphasis on hygiene, mask wearing, and social distancing in certain settings has helped manage outbreaks. Public health campaigns have focused on educating communities about the virus and prevention strategies. Economic recovery. As restrictions eased, economies began to reopen with a focus on supporting businesses and workers affected by the pandemic. Many countries have implemented measures to stimulate economic growth. Adaptation. Society has adapted to new norms, including remote work, online education, and telehealth services. These changes may have lasting effects on how we live and work. Ongoing research. Scientists continue to study the virus, its variants, and long-term effects on health. Research into treatments and vaccines is ongoing to prepare for potential future outbreaks. Conclusion. COVID-19 has reshaped the world in numerous ways, highlighting the importance of global cooperation in public health. While a significant process has been made in recovery, the lessons learned from the pandemic will likely influence social health policies and societal norms. How many people died from COVID-19? Well, as of late 2023, the World Health Organization reported that there have been approximately 7 million confirmed deaths globally due to COVID-19. However, it is important to note that the actual number of deaths may be higher due to underreporting and variations in how deaths are classified across different countries. The impact of COVID-19 has varied significantly by region, with some countries experiencing much higher mortality rates than others. How did COVID-19 affect workers and those who were employed? COVID-19 had a profound impact on workers across various sectors, leading to significant changes in employment, work conditions, and overall job security. Here are some key ways in which the pandemic affected workers: job losses and unemployment, mass layoffs. Many businesses, especially industries like hospitality, travel, and retail, faced closures or reduced operations, leading to widespread layoffs and furloughs. Rising unemployment rates. Unemployment rates surged in many countries, with millions of workers losing their jobs or facing reduced hours. Remote work, shift to telecommuting. Many organizations transmitted to remote work to maintain operations while adhering to social distancing guidelines. This shift was more feasible for jobs that could be performed online. Work-life balance challenges. While remote work offers flexibility, it also blurred the lines between work and personal life, leading to challenges in maintaining work-life balance and increased stress. Health and safety concerns. Workplace safety. Essential workers such as those in healthcare, grocery stores, and delivery services faced heightened risks of exposure to the virus. Employers had to implement new health and safety protocols to protect their employees. Mental health impact. The uncertainty and stress of the pandemic took a toll on workers' mental health, leading to increased anxiety, depression, and burnout. Changes in employment practices. Flexible work arrangements. Many companies adapted more flexible work arrangements, including hybrid models that combine remote and in-office work. Focus on employee well-being. Organizations began to prioritize employee well-being, offering mental health resources, wellness programs, and support for work-life balance. Skill development and reskilling. The need for new skills. The pandemic accelerated the adoption of technology and digital tools, promoting workers to develop new skills to adapt to changing job requirements. There were new training programs caused by COVID. Labor market shifts. Increased demand for certain sectors. Some industries, such as e-commerce, healthcare, and technology, saw increased demand for workers, leading to job growth in those areas. Gig economy growth. The gig economy expanded as more people sought flexible work opportunities, leading to a rise in freelance and contract work. Unionization and worker advocacy. The pandemic can cause increased union activity. And the conclusion. The effects of COVID-19 on workers have been complex and varied, with both challenges and opportunities arising from the pandemic. As the world continues to recover, many of these challenges may have lasting implications for the future of work, employment rights, and workplace culture. All right, let's go ahead and take our quick intermission. Now, before we head to intermission, I just want to stress that 10 years from now, in 2035, we can look back at this episode and say, wow, I remember 2020. I remember all these incidents that happened. That is pretty cool that we actually have that at our fingertips. So years from now, I can go back and look at this episode. You can go back and look at this episode and reminisce about 2020. Anyway, right now, let's go ahead and take a quick intermission. During this intermission, you're going to hear about some special upcoming live streams. You're going to hear about our merchandise website and more. Coming up next here on the A.C.E Network Special 2020, A Year Like No Other, we will discuss the 2020 presidential election. We will discuss the death of George Floyd, Harvey Weinstein, and so much more. So don't go anywhere. We got plenty more coming your way right after a quick word from our YouTube channel.
Support your favorite show. Are you a fan of our incredible show and want to help keep the magic alive? Consider making a donation today. Every cent you contribute will directly support Alex and the production of the show, as well as exciting events hosted on the A.C.E network. Your generosity will not go unnoticed. For every donation, you'll receive a customized appreciation letter as our heartfelt thanks for your support. Donating is easy. Simply send your contribution via Cash App to our tag $AlexCard1993. That's $AlexCard1993. Join us in making our show even better and ensuring more amazing content for you to enjoy. Thank you for your kind support.
Show your support for the Alex Cardinale Network in style, introducing the official A.C.E Network merchandise store, your one-stop shop for all things Alex Cardinale. Whether you're sipping your morning coffee from a branded mug, staying hydrated with our sleek tumbler cups, or staying cozy in our stylish t-shirts and sweaters, you'll be representing the A.C.E Network wherever you go, but that's not all. Our store is also the exclusive home for Oasis Aquatics merchandise, helping you find your oasis and show your aquatic pride. Plus, celebrate our hit shows like Saturday Live with Alex Cardinale and Aquatic Wetline with unique merch. Every purchase supports the show, and Alex Cardinale will personally thank you with a customized letter and video. Visit us at therealalexcardinaleshop.fourthwall.com or search The Real Alex Cardinale or A.C.E Network Fourth Wall on Google to find your favorite items today.
Say hello to 2025 with Alex Cardinale on Saturday Live. Join us for the first Saturday Live of the year on January 18th at our new primetime slot, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. It's the Hello 2025 Saturday Live, kicking off the A.C.E Network era with a bang. This week, Alex Cardinale brings you 3 exciting new segments. Alex's Top 10. Get ready as Alex counts down 10 things to look forward to in 2025 and relive the 10 best Buccaneers games of the season. Watch along with Alex. Sit back and enjoy as you watch a captivating video with Alex, adding fun commentary and insights. Alex Cardinale. Open challenge? Are you up for the challenge? Step into the spotlight and become part of the show. Plus, dive into our returning favorites. Discover the majestic snow leopard as the first animal of 2025. Spotlight the tiger silver dollar fish with Oasis Aquatics. And get comprehensive recaps and facts on the Buccaneers, along with insights on Ford and Dell. Don't miss out on this action-packed, informative, and entertaining start to your year. Tune in live on the Alex Cardinale Network on YouTube. Let's make 2025 unforgettable together.
Dive into the world of fish and pet kingdom. Are you passionate about animals, tropical fish, or both? If you answered yes to any of these, then our Facebook group is the perfect place for you. Fish and Pet Kingdom is a vibrant community that welcomes tropical fish enthusiasts from every corner of the globe, whether you are into freshwater or saltwater aquariums. But that's not all. We embrace all pet lovers, whether you have dogs, cats, reptiles, birds, or small mammals. Even if you simply adore animals, you're invited to join our friendly community. Connect with fellow animal lovers, share your cherished fish and pets, and engage in lively discussions. Have a tropical fish or pet YouTube channel? Feel free to share your videos, something you won't find in many other groups. We can't wait to welcome you. Visit us at facebook.com/groups/tropicalfish and Pet Kingdom, or simply search for Fish and Pet Kingdom on Facebook. Join us today and be part of our amazing community.
You're invited to Alex Cardinale's 11th anniversary bash. Join us for a stupendous two-night live stream extravaganza as Alex Cardinale celebrates 11 incredible years on YouTube. Mark your calendars for Thursday, April 24th, and Friday, April 25th, 2025, as we embark on a virtual vacation filled with fun, friendship, and unforgettable moments. On Thursday, Alex will take you on an exciting journey to New Jersey, where you'll meet a new friend and explore the wonders of Oasis Aquatics. Then on Friday, we return to the sunshine of Florida to celebrate at home with even more surprises and special guests. Don't miss out on this epic celebration. Tune in at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on the Alex Cardinale Network. Join us for an unforgettable evening as Alex Cardinale kicks off night one of the 11-year YouTube bash from vibrant Warren County, New Jersey. For the very first time, Alex ventures beyond state lines to bring you an extraordinary live show from Hackettstown. This exciting event promises a whirlwind of activities, including captivating airplane ride vlogs and an exclusive tour of New Jersey's hidden gems. Get ready to meet Tom McGuire, the passionate owner of Oasis Aquatics, and explore the mesmerizing fish room that has captivated aquatic enthusiasts everywhere. This night is packed with excitement, camaraderie, and insights you won't want to miss. Tune in to the Alex Cardinale Network on YouTube on Thursday, April 24th, 2025 at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and be part of this milestone celebration. Get ready for an exciting conclusion to the 11-year YouTube bash with Night 2 taking place in beautiful South Florida. Join Alex as he hosts a thrilling live stream on the Alex Cardinale Network, packed with engaging segments and special appearances. Dive into an adventure as Alex takes you on a virtual tour of the local zoo and aquarium, offering a close-up look at fascinating wildlife. Food enthusiasts can look forward to a mouth-watering restaurant review, while Aqua Alex will showcase any new fish he has added to his collection. The evening will also feature special guests and entertaining appearances by Chef Alex and Detective Alex, promising a fun-filled night for viewers. Tune in on Friday, April 25th, 2025 at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific for an unforgettable live stream experience.
Welcome back to an A.C.E Network special 2020, a year like no other, where we're talking about the craziness and the unpredictable events from 2020. And before our intermission, we talked about Kobe Bryant's tragic death and COVID-19 and a whole lot more. And let's get right back into it. Now we're going to talk about the 2020 presidential election. So, the 2020 United States presidential election was a significant and highly contentious event that took place on November 3rd, 2020. Here is an overview of the key aspects of the 2020 election. Your candidates. Democratic Party was Joe Biden, who was the former vice president under Barack Obama. He was the Democratic nominee. His running mate was Kamala Harris, making her the first woman, first black woman, and first person of South Asian descent to be nominated for vice president by a major party. The Republican Party, the incumbent President Donald Trump ran for re-election with his Vice President Mike Pence. Key issues. The election was marked by several critical issues, including COVID-19 pandemic. The handling of the pandemic was a central issue, with Biden criticizing Trump's response and advocating for a more robust public health strategy. Racial justice. The summer of 2020 saw widespread protest against racial injustice and police brutality, particularly following the death of George Floyd. The issue has become a focal point in the 2020 election. Economy. The economic impact of the pandemic, including job losses and business closures, was a significant concern for voters. Climate change. Environmental policies and climate change were also important topics. Voter turnout. The 2020 election saw a historic voter turnout, with approximately 159 million Americans casting their ballots. This represented about 66.7% of the eligible voting population, the highest percentage for a presidential election in the U.S. since 1900. Voting methods. Due to the pandemic, there was a significant increase in mail-in and early voting. Many states expanded access to absentee ballots to accommodate voters concerned about in-person voting. Election results. Joe Biden. Biden won the election with 306 electoral votes and approximately 51.3% of the popular vote, over 81 million votes. Donald Trump received 232 electoral votes and about 46.8% of the popular vote, over 74 million votes. Aftermath. Controversy and claims of fraud. Following the election, Trump and many of his supporters made unfounded claims of widespread voter fraud, which I think could be a possibility that it was happening. These claims were reportedly dismissed by courts and election officials. Capitol riot. On January 6, 2021, a mob of Trump supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol in an attempt to overturn the election results as Congress was in the process of certifying Biden's victory. This event led to widespread condemnation and resulted in the second impeachment of Donald Trump. Inauguration. Joe Biden was inaugurated as the 46th President of the United States on January 20th, 2021, with Kamala Harris sworn in as Vice President. Well, Monday, January 20th, 2025, President Donald J. Trump will be sworn in as, again, and the new United States President. And that is going to be awesome to have Donald Trump back as president. Conclusion. The 2020 presidential election was a pivotal moment in U.S. history, characterized by high stakes, significant voter engagement, and deep political divisions. The election's outcome and the events that followed have had long-lasting implications for American politics and society. Now let's talk about something that in 2020 divided America, and that is the death of George Floyd. Now, many people thought George Floyd was a victim, and should he have been killed? Absolutely not. George Floyd should not have been killed, but he definitely was no victim, in my opinion, because George Floyd was a drug addict, a heroin junkie, and he also took a gun to a pregnant woman. That is sinister, ladies and gentlemen. So he was a career criminal. So he was not somebody that should be given a statue. The fact that he got built a statue was insulting to me as an American, because George Floyd was not the type of person that I want America to be remembered for, because he was a career criminal. But anyways, I digress. My opinion does not matter in this story. So let's talk about the background. George Floyd was a 46-year-old African-American man who lived in Minneapolis, Minnesota. On May 25th, 2020, he was arrested by police officers after a store employee alleged that George Floyd had used a counterfeit $20 bill. The incident escalated when officers attempted to detain him. Circumstances of his death. During the arrest, former police officer Derek Chauvin knelt on Floyd's neck for over 9 minutes while Floyd was handcuffed and lying face down on the ground. Floyd repeatedly stated that he could not breathe, and bystanders recorded the incident on their phones. Despite their pleas for the officers to stop, Chauvin continued to apply pressure. Floyd became unresponsive and was later pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. The graphic video of George Floyd's arrest and subsequent death sparked outrage and widespread condemnation, as it highlighted issues of police brutality and systematic racism in law enforcement. Impact and reactions. Protest. George Floyd's death ignited a wave of protest across the United States and around the world under the banner of the Black Lives Matter movement. Demonstrators called for justice for Floyd and an end to police violence against Black individuals. The protests were marked by calls for systematic change in policing practices and broader social justice reforms. Global movement. The protests in the United States inspired similar demonstrations in countries around the world, with people expressing solidarity against racial injustice and police brutality. The phrase Black Lives Matter became a rallying cry for those advocating for racial equality. Here's the fact: all lives matter. All lives matter. Policy changes. In the wake of the protests, many cities and states began to reevaluate their policing policies. Some of the changes included banning chokeholds. Several police departments implemented bans on chokeholds and other forms of excessive force. Increased accountability. Calls for greater accountability for police officers, including the establishment of independent review boards and the use of body cameras. Defunding the police. Some activists advocated for reallocating funds from police departments to community services, mental health programs, and social services. And legal proceedings. Derek Chauvin was charged with second-degree unintentional murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. In April 2021, he was found guilty on all counts and sentenced to 22.5 years in prison. Now, I have seen the video, and it is clear as day in that video that George Floyd not once acknowledged the police's commands, or even did what the police asked. So when you are fighting against police officers, not listening to their demands, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to detain you, and they're going to use physical force if necessary. So I particularly have no sympathy in this case because it could have been prevented had he listened. However, he was high on some sort of drug. So being a career junkie and career criminal, he probably didn't know what he was doing. But anyway, I have no say in this matter anymore. This case is 5 years old, and it is now over. So the death of George Floyd was a tragic event that served as a catalyst for a global movement against racial injustice and police brutality. It highlighted the urgent need for systematic change and has left an indelible mark on American society and beyond. And the last case we're going to talk about, the last event from 2020, Harvey Weinstein. And I have never ever heard of this man, Harvey Weinstein. In 2020, Harvey Weinstein faced significant repercussions for his actions. On February 24th, 2020, he was found guilty of rape and a criminal sex act in the 3rd degree. The guilty verdicts were related to 2 out of 5 charges against him, rape in the 3rd degree and a criminal sex act in the 3rd degree involving former production assistant Mimi Haley in 2006, and rape in the 3rd degree involving actress Jessica Mann in 2013. He was acquitted of the more serious charges. The sentencing was delayed due to various health concerns and the COVID-19 pandemic. On March 11th, 2020, Weinstein tested positive for COVID-19 at his prison cell, and later on March 18th, 2020, it was announced that his sentencing would be postponed due to the pandemic. On March 11th, 2021, Weinstein was sentenced to 23 years in prison. And finally, let's take a look at sports in 2020. There were multiple sports championships held in 2020. In the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs won Super Bowl in February 2020 by defeating the San Francisco 49ers 31-20. In the NBA, the Los Angeles Lakers won the championship by defeating the Miami Heat 4-2 in the 2020 NBA Finals. The Lakers had a strong season led by LeBron James, earning their 17th NBA championship. Only fitting because earlier in the year, we lost basketball legend Kobe Bryant. The Boston Red Sox and Los Angeles Dodgers both had great runs, but the Dodgers ultimately won the 2020 World Series over the Tampa Bay Rays, winning the series 4-2. In tennis, the Australian Open was held in the summer of 2020, but the COVID-19 pandemic led to it being postponed until the fall of 2020. The men's singles title was won by Novak Djokovic, and the women's singles title was won by Sofia Kenin. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and that was the year like no other. That was 2020, and for sure, it was a crazy year. Hopefully, we'll never have to deal with another pandemic ever again, because the pandemic changed life for so long. From 2020 all the way to 2023, COVID-19 changed everything. Well, this was an A.C.E Network special event, and I, Alex Cardinale, host and CEO of the A.C.E Network, like to thank you for watching 2020, a year like no other. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed this episode. Good night, everybody.